Hey, welcome to this segment of the e-bike industry news. It's been I think over a year. It's been a long time since I've done an e-bike industry news segment. And there has been so much news going on. In fact, I actually have a whole note sheet of stuff throughout the year that I've been picking up as far as notes on just industry news that's been going on. And I think I'll be doing a little more on this, but I wanted to bring this out today very quickly and a very short video about if you have been waiting or thinking about waiting on getting on a bike, you might want to think about getting it by the end of tonight. And I'm not saying that you're going to save money, absolute, because there is a tariff that is going, or an exception to a tariff that is set to expire today. And as of the June 14th, that's when all this expiration is going to happen. So it says like anything after this June 14th date, what's going to happen is the prices will go up for all of the imports coming in, an extra 25% on all that. So if you can imagine, if you have a $1,000 bike that you're looking to pick up, or let's actually bring that a little higher, maybe an $1,800 or $1,500 bike that's coming in, that's going to be sold at that price at $1,500 or so, and maybe cost is about, I don't know, $1,000 or so. That $1,000 is going to be taxed an extra $250. So the retailers all have to start increasing their prices for anything that's going to be coming in after the 14th. Now, if it's already here in the United States before the 14th, I believe that most of them will be able to sell their inventory at the price that they've already gotten it for. There's no additional cost on that. But anything that's hitting the docks for the EV market is going to have this extra added increase. And I've been holding off. I've been hearing about this for quite a while. But I've been holding off because it was possible there was going to have an extension on it again, because this has already been extended, I guess, a few times before. But it seems as though they're going to hold firm to let the tariff actually hit the market. And so I wanted to find out more information before doing this. And the reason why I'm also wanting to bring this up is I had a bike review ready to be published about 2 weeks ago, and I was told to hold off on publishing it because they had to worry about raising their prices. If they were able to get their inventory in before this tariff increase, then they were going to be able to keep the price at the price that I had mentioned in the video. But because they know that the shipments are coming in after, and it's like only a few days, they have to raise the prices on their bikes. So that's going to be across the board. I don't know how anybody's going to be able to absorb a 25% increase on the bikes themselves. And that also includes batteries, from my understanding. So I asked AI for the most recent information, because I don't know where else to really get information that's going to be accurate, because most people, even retailers in the industry, are not really sure what's going to happen. So this is, again, a disclaimer. I am asking AI for the answer to this. And according to Bing, they actually get information off the web as far as live. So I asked it to explain the bike tariff. And basically it says there is a tariff that was put in place a while back, but there was an exclusion for Chinese-made e-bikes, juvenile bikes, and other e-bike products, but that is set to expire on June 14th. After this date, importers of e-bikes, children's bikes, and certain carbon fiber frames and water packs, I don't know why that was added here, will be subject to an additional 25% tariff on top of existing tariffs. Notably, e-bikes are not subject to any other tariffs. If you have any other further questions, feel free to ask. So I asked, were the exceptions, or why were the exceptions granted in the first place? And the tariff exceptions in Chinese-made bikes and juvenile bikes were granted to help mitigate the impact of the broader trade war between the U.S. and China. These exclusions aim to support the bicycle industry and promote affordability for consumers. But as of the 14th, these exceptions are set to expire, potentially facing import costs. And then I asked, how will this impact e-bike manufacturers and retailers? And of course, first number one thing is cost increase, which is evident that was going to happen. They can absorb 25% is huge absorption of cost, which may lead to higher cost. Manufacturers may need to adjust pricing to absorb some of the tariff impact. They also did mention that could be supply chain disruptions, which makes sense. Manufacturers relying on Chinese suppliers for components or complete e-bikes may experience supply chain disruptions due to increased costs or sourcing challenges. Now, competitiveness. Retailers selling e-bikes may find it hard to compete with the price tariffs raised on these costs. They may explore alternative suppliers or adjust their product mix. I know in the past, whenever tariffs have hit certain industries, sometimes these Chinese factories just open up factories in like Vietnam and other countries. So that could just be a delay. That could be part of the supply chain disruptions while they move over to other countries that don't get hit so hard. But consumer prices, ultimately, consumers could see higher prices for e-bikes, affecting demand and sales. Now, here's the cool thing about what's been going on with this whole green initiative in the country is that a lot of states and the federal government have been looking into giving rebates. So make sure, even though the prices have probably already gone up on a lot of bike prices that are still like on their way in, that you just do a little bit of research to make sure your state may or may not have a rebate available to you. I know some states have some really big rebates. I know other states have income requirements for you to qualify. And as soon as these rebates come allowed or available, make sure you jump on it right away too, because a lot of these extra fundings that's going into giving these rebates run out of money. So there are options. Keep that in mind. Even though prices are going up, one of the best options right now is to jump in and see if you can pick up a bike probably today or tomorrow before prices start to go up. There's not, like I said, it's not a guarantee that a lot of bikes will automatically go up right away. The inventory that has already come into the US may be not affected because by the sellers at this point, because they want to sell through their inventory to make sure that they can before the new bikes come in, that they're going to have to raise the in prices. But other companies may actually be starting to raise their prices now, because they can then level out. Say if I have 500 bikes, maybe I'll raise them $100, and then when another 500 is already on its way in, those come in, I'll just raise those $100 instead of selling everything at 500 for the one price I've already set, and then when the second set comes in, raising $200, which would offset that. There's strategies that a lot of them will be using. A lot of them will also be probably offering more free accessories, because that's a good offset of pricing if they have to do the increases. But according to what I've been reading or hearing from others, that there is possibilities that even a lot of accessories will be hit by this too. I'm not completely sure on that, but for sure they are talking about batteries. And it is very unfortunate that this is going to happen, because of the fact that if they do want people to ride bikes more and use less cars, they should probably extend the exclusion for e-bikes, in my opinion. But neither here nor there. This is just what's going to happen right now. As of today, this is the 13th. The expiration is set for the 14th, so you might want to jump on buying a bike now. And again, I apologize. I know everybody else had been putting out news about this, but if you haven't heard about it, it is happening. And I just wasn't sure if I knew enough about it to explain it. But obviously, the more I look into it, the more a lot of people are still confused about it. But it is definitely getting hit by it. Some of the other videos I've seen by even small parts, I have a bunch of parts that I had brought in a year ago, and I overbought. So I'm going to be selling if you are looking for seat posts for the electric 123, and go to ebikeproducts.com/shop, and you'll be able to see the products that I have there. I am not raising my prices because I brought them in so long ago that those costs have already been set. And that's lucky for me, because anybody of my competitors are going to sell them in the future have an extra 25% increase of what's coming in for them if they didn't stock up early. But thank you so much for watching. I will be having a video come out tomorrow with a bike that unfortunately now is finally coming in stock, so at least then it can be sold, and it is still a great price. 25% is quite a bit of an increase hit, but if everybody's raising their prices at the same time, then we're just seeing a basic overall increase. This is something that actually has been going on for a while anyway. With as far as inflation, prices have been going up. I was hoping this year would be really low because of the flood in the market of extra added bikes, but we have actually seen some bike companies go under. And what's been happening, which I've been very grateful for, and I'll probably make a whole video on this later, is that I've been noticing prior to this tariff, e-bike prices have been staying stabilized, but the parts have been getting better. And we see companies like Electric doing that, where they're putting hydraulic brakes on everything now, and the prices were not increases on their Light 2.0, which you guys may have seen in my other video that I put out. But I think right now we are going to have to see an increase across the board. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video, and don't forget to subscribe.